Good morning, grade 6. Today is our lesson, inshallah, about how do people conserve resources. Please open your science notebook and write the next page of vocabulary and write today's date, which is 24 March 2020. The vocabulary is made up of the word conservation, reduce, recycle, reuse, contour farming, intercropping. Again, conservation, reduce, recycle, reuse, contour farming, intercropping. Let's start with our lesson. Conservation. There we mean by this word is using resources carefully. We need to use them carefully, not waste resources, not overuse resources, not waste them at all. We have to be careful while using the resources. What are the resources? We will explain what are those resources now. For example, if we have water, we cannot overconsume it. For example, if we have electricity, we don't overconsume it. If we have papers, if we have plastic, we don't overconsume it, right? We have to be careful and not waste them. So when we use the resources, we name this process by the word conservation. Conservation is using resources carefully and not wasting them. Now we have 3 R's. This is very, very important. 3 R's. What do you mean by 3 R's? This is a mnemonic or abbreviation for the 3 words that begin with letter R: reducing, reusing, recycling. Reducing, reusing, and recycling. What do we reduce, and what do we reuse, and what do we recycle? We will explain now in the next slide. But those 3 R's, they help us to conserve our natural resources. They help us to conserve our natural resources, to keep them. Conserve. What do we mean by conserve again? Conserve, to keep them, not wasted, and used carefully. Not wasted and used carefully, that's what we mean by the word conservation. Conserve, here's the verb of the word conservation. So, again, what helps us in conservation? What helps us to make conservation? The 3 R's: reducing, reusing, and recycling. This is a picture for the reducing. We have to reduce the use of electricity, right? Do not overuse water. Okay, we can, rather than using yellow lamps, we can use white lamps. We can use electricity saving lamps rather than those consuming too much or over wasted. So reduce, we have to reduce the use of water, reduce the use of too much electricity that we do not use. Then we have to reuse. What do we mean by reuse? We have to reuse. Reusing, like here, the plants, we can make actually, or we name this organic bags from the trees, right? They are eco-friendly, they are environment friendly. We have to use everything that is around us in the environment in order to reuse it and not consume it unwisely. Okay, so, and then we have to recycle. Recycle what we have already used, the last step. So again, they are reduce the use, and then reuse, and then recycle. Let's see. Reduce means to use less. Use less. Reduce means to use less. Reuse means to turn it into something else. Turn it into something new. Like here when I told you the 3 leaves, we will turn it into bag. Right? Okay. So we reuse the tree leaves or barks, whatever, every part of the tree we can use in order to make paper, right? In order to make paper bag. So we are reusing resources around us in the environment to make something new, something else. A recycled product, what is a recycled product? It's one made from materials recovered from thrown away items by reprocessing them. Like now I have wrote in a paper and I already consumed the paper, and I consumed the book, I finished the book, and I will not read again in it. What will happen? The math booklet, what you will do in it? For example, after you finish it, inshallah, or the science booklet, what you will do? You're going to throw it away? No, you have to give them to a recycling company in order to reprocess them again and use them. Okay, we're going to give those papers for recycling. For example, we have in our school a box for recycled papers, right? We put the used paper inside it in order to recycle it again. So this is something that we help us to preserve and conserve, help us to make conservation, conserve the resources carefully and not waste them. It helps Earth to be better place. It helps Earth to be kept safe. Okay, so again, the 3 R's are reduce, reuse, and recycle. Now, contour farming. Of course, this is not contour for makeup, okay? It's a contour farming. What do we mean by this here? Can you see how it looks like here? This one, I have to use another highlighter color, like this one here. This is a contour farming. Can you see the shape here, how it looks like? And here, this one, this zigzag, it looks like a little bit contoured, right? So this contouring follows the natural curves of the land. The farmers, it's a way of farming, and the farmers plant crops across or perpendicular to follow the contour of the land. They follow the natural curves. There's natural curves in the land. So what do the farmers do? They plant the crops in those natural curves. Why do they do so? It helps conserve rain water and to reduce soil loss. Here, when the rain falls, it will come where? It will be here in the middle, right? As well. And here, when the rain falls, and it will also come here, but it will be contained for a longer time in the middle, right? So it helps prevent the soil from wasting away in heavy rain. We don't want the heavy rain to like spoil the plants and crops. So again, from the beginning, contour farming. Contour means there is a frame. They put the plants in a special frame, special shape. Okay, the farmers, they start to farm their farm through following the natural curves of the land. They farm their crops following the natural curves of the land. Why? To prevent soil from washing away. It will get washed away if it's not actually contour farmed in heavy rain. Okay, and to reduce soil loss. And in conclusion, this will help the crops be healthy, right? And helps the plant grow better, of course, right? And helps the farm to be a good farm, healthy farm, and the crops are all healthy. Okay, and this will help Earth be a better place as well. So we are using this in order to preserve and conserve Earth's resources. Now, intercropping, the word enter means between. The part here, enter, means between. It's another word for the word between. And cropping, crop means what? The word crop. I'm saying crop from the beginning in the first slide. Crop is the plant, okay? And cropping is the verb, right? So the verb here, we mean by it planting. So again, intercropping is the planting. So cropping means planting. Planting of what? Of more than one crop in the same field at the same time. They are different types. Look here, there is gray crop, and then there is here light green crop, and then there is dark green crop, and then this one is different from them all, right? So they are not the same. They are different crops, and they are planted in the same place at the same time. We name this intercropping. Like here I have gray plant in the middle. It is planted between two green plants or two green crops. Again, here we have one blue or gray plants, crops. They are planted between two green crops. So we are planting crops between other crops in the same field at the same time, okay, like next to each other. Let's look here again for explanations. Planting next to each other at the same time, but are they of the same type? No, they are different types. Why do we do this? Why? What is the importance of this? What is the purpose of intercropping? The purpose or the aim or the reason for intercropping is to produce more crops in a given area. To get more crops, have a lot more crops, and make use of resources. What do we mean by resources? I will put here fertilizers for the soil, right? Only one plant will eat from the fertilizers? No, I want a lot of plants to eat from these fertilizers or the nutrients, okay? So we can make use from, rather than only one plant eating from a single crop eating from the fertilizer, no, we will actually make use of the resources, the nutrients or the fertilizers that we put in the soil, so that all the crops together eat from the fertilizers that would otherwise not be used by a single crop. If I put fertilizers in the soil, okay, and plant one crop only, there will be a lot of fertilizers in the soil that the one plant will not use, right? The plant will only take some of the fertilizers and use it in the soil, but there will be extra fertilizers in the soil for only one single crop. So what we will do, we will put a lot of different types together through intercropping in one soil, okay? So all of them will have to use and eat the nutrients we have already put in the soil for them. So in this way we produce more crops in one given area. This is the purpose of intercropping. Why do we do this? Again, to conserve resources. We are trying to conserve resources, okay, rather than planting in one area and then go plant again in another area and go plant in third area and plant another plant in fourth area. No, we will be planting all together. We will be intercropping them all together in one place and this one place have them all at the same time, in the same place or the same field. This is what do we mean by the word intercropping. Okay, I hope I made it clear, inshallah. This is our lesson for today. Please look for the worksheet in the book. This lesson is very easy, inshallah, and it will help you to practice the questions. Look for the science worksheet after the lesson and try to answer it, please. Okay, see you next time. Thank you very much.